I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sex.
What exactly happened? Why was one of the world's most talented riders experiencing such a nightmare with Yamaha's massive project? From the start of the weekend at Cota, signs of trouble were already apparent. During free practice, TOPRAK was seen veering off track several times, and had to work hard to maintain stability when exiting corners. The Yamaha V4, which was touted as a major revolution for the Japanese manufacturer, seemed less than tame in TOPRAK's hands. The main problem seemed to stem from the V4 engine's very different character compared to the inline-4 engines that had long been Yamaha's trademark. The V4 engine is known for its more brutal acceleration and different power distribution. For many riders, this provides a significant advantage on the straights. However, for TOPRAK, this change in character required a much greater adaptation than expected. On several occasions, TOPRAK was even seen shaking his head as he returned to the pits. His body language clearly conveyed his disappointment. Yamaha's mechanics continued to adjust his setup throughout the weekend, trying to find a balance between engine power and stability under braking. Another problem arose in an area that is TOPRAK's main strength: extreme braking. For years, TOPRAK was known as a braking expert, a rider capable of braking later than anyone else on the grid. However, the nature of the V4 engine changes the bike's weight distribution during hard deceleration. As a result, the rear of the bike becomes more difficult to control when TOPRAK uses his aggressive braking style. He nearly lost control several times entering corners at Cota, a circuit known for its demanding bike stability. Sources within the paddock say that Yamaha is still in a major development phase with this V4 project. Compared to rivals like Ducati and KTM, which have long used V4 engines, Yamaha is still finding the best formula to maintain Yamaha's signature balance while gaining explosive power from the new engine configuration. For TOPRAK, the challenge is even greater because he not only has to race, but also be a key part of the bike's development. Every lap he completes on the track provides valuable data for Yamaha engineers. Unfortunately, at Cota, the reality is different. And here's the full news. A heated atmosphere enveloped the paddock as the prestigious 2026 Grand Prix of the Americas took place at the iconic Circuit of the Americas in the United States. The world's best riders arrived with high ambitions for victory. However, amidst the spotlight of MotoGP fans, a surprising story emerged from the Yamaha team garage. The spotlight was on Turkish sensation TOPRAK Razgatlioglu. The rider, known for his aggressive riding style, extreme braking ability, and exceptional motorcycle control, appeared to be struggling throughout the weekend at Cota. Yamaha's V4 engine, touted as a major revolution for the Japanese manufacturer, turned out to be a formidable challenge for TOPRAK. Many fans began to wonder, what was really going on behind the scenes? Why was one of the world's most talented riders struggling to master a bike that was expected to be Yamaha's future? From the first free practice session, signs of trouble began to appear. TOPRAK was seen running wide several times exiting corners, even having to aggressively correct the direction of the bike to maintain stability. On a notoriously technical track like Cota, even the smallest mistake could mean losing valuable time. TOPRAK was seen constantly trying to maximize every lap, but the Yamaha V4's characteristics didn't seem to fully suit his riding style. The significant change from Yamaha's signature inline-4 engine to the V4 configuration was a major factor behind this difficulty. For years, Yamaha has been known to use inline-4 engines, which boasted smooth, stable power, and were well suited to maintaining speed in corners. However, Yamaha's new project brought radical changes. The V4 engine is known for its far more explosive acceleration and aggressive power output. Many rival teams, such as Ducati and KTM, have long used this configuration, and successfully maximized its performance on various tracks. For Yamaha, this move was a major effort to catch up with their rivals. However, for TOPRAK, this change in characteristics required a difficult adaptation. One of TOPRAK's greatest strengths has been his exceptional braking technique. He is often able to delay the braking point longer than other riders. This technique allows him to overtake in areas that are nearly impossible for other riders. However, with a V4 engine, the bike's weight distribution changes significantly during hard braking. When TOPRAK tries to brake in his signature style, the rear end of the bike sometimes feels lighter and harder to control. This makes the bike more unstable when entering corners. Several times, television cameras captured moments when the rear end of the bike shifted slightly when TOPRAK braked hard on the sharp turns at Cota. This was a very risky situation, even for a rider of TOPRAK's caliber. In the Yamaha garage, engineers worked non-stop. The bike's setup was constantly being tweaked from session to session. Suspension, weight distribution, and even electronic settings were all tested to find the best balance. However, the process of developing a new bike is rarely smooth. Sources in the paddock said that Yamaha's V4 project was still in a very exploratory phase. Engineers were trying to combine two very different philosophies: the brutal power of the V4 and the refined stability that has long been Yamaha's trademark. The challenge was certainly not small. Meanwhile, the pressure on TOPRAK was also increasing. His arrival on the Yamaha project brought high expectations from fans. Many believed that TOPRAK could be the rider who brought Yamaha back to the front of the pack. However, at Cota, reality wasn't as rosy as hoped. In the sprint race, TOPRAK struggled to maintain his position. He lost momentum several times exiting long corners, an area where the V4 engine should have provided a significant advantage. Instead of shooting away, the Yamaha bike seemed difficult to control when the engine's massive power was channeled to the rear wheel. Traction issues were a major concern. When the engine power is too aggressive, the rear tire can lose grip, especially exiting corners with high banked angles. This forced TOPRAK to back off the throttle slightly, losing valuable time on each lap. At the MotoGP level, losing even a tenth of a second can mean losing several positions. After the race, TOPRAK gave quite frank comments to the media. He didn't hide the fact that the bike still needed a lot of development. According to him, the potential of the V4 engine is actually enormous.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.